Yeah, go.
All right.
We'll cut it. We'll cut it in post.
I'm keeping that in the intro. I like that. That was really good.
Welcome to the Harem Podcast. My microphone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hello Harem Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Luby, and I'm joined, as always, by the horniest of homies to sail the seven seas, Mr. Jonathan Semrau, Anthony Luby, Luke Farnsworth, and our anime plushie aficionados, Ram.
Just Ram.
I honestly,
Neil's been subdued, officially.
Neil's a
my funny haha brain was like, what if Alex, for this intro, just called all of us Alex? He was just like, I'm your host, Alex Luby, joined with Alex Luby, and Alex Luby.
And our anime aficionado plushie, Alex
Luby.
And Sailor Moon and whatever that lobster is.
Oh, yeah.
That's Capo.
No, Luke pointed. He's like, "This is Sailor Moon and that lobster figure."
Okay, yeah. Well,
that was good.
It's a weird looking lobster.
Yeah, we're the funniest people on the internet.
Everyone knows it.
Everybody.
Just my figurines.
Until they fall.
So I have one story from the week. Does anybody want to go before me?
I have a story.
I don't remember my
all right.
week.
Let's hear it. You can go first.
Okay, so as I don't know if it was mentioned on the last podcast, but I was in Oshkosh at an air show.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Well, I flew in with my uncle on his plane, and when he picked us up at Akron Canton, and we flew to his boat in Michigan, and then from there, the next morning, we flew to Wisconsin for the air show.
I can't believe you flew a boat to Wisconsin.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? It's a really cool boat. But so when we're on our way into Oshkosh, into Wisconsin, we go in and we make our approach for the runway, and Carl flips his gear down, and he looks at his lights, and the front gear is green, the back right gear is green, the back left gear is not green, it's red. So typically that means the gear didn't go down. And Carl was like, so he tells the tower, he's like, I'm having a problem. So he flips his gear back up. He's like, I'm going to circle around. They're like, okay. So he goes back around, circles back around, flips his gear down. And he's like, all right, front gear is green, back right gear is green, back left gear is still red. And he asked the tower, he's like, does my gear look like it's down? And they were like, yeah, it's down. And he was like, awesome. And so he says over the thing, he's like, that could mean that either the gear's not down and they just can't see it from the tower, or the gear is down and it's not locked. And so that would mean if we landed, it would just collapse. And so we go in for approach and we go to land, and Carl just lands the plane, and he's like, oh, it must be the light bulb was out. And we're just like, okay. And so we were like, what if the gear wouldn't have gone down? What if it didn't lock? He's like, well, the landing would have been a little rough, but I would have got 2 new engines. I was like, why? He's like, anytime there's a prop strike, they have to completely tear down and rebuild the engines. And I was like, that would have been expensive. He's like, for the insurance company.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not coming out of Carl's pocket.
Yeah, but we thought the gear wasn't going down. We were just gonna have to belly land it on the airstrip.
Is his plane it sounds like it's twin prop.
Yeah, it's a Cessna twin.
Cessna twin. So there's 1 gear in the front, 2 under the engines.
Yes.
Yeah, that would fuck it. That'd be bad.
That would fuck it.
What
really
side
bad.
were you sitting on?
The side where the gear wouldn't have gone down.
Oh, you would have felt that landing pretty good then.
Yeah. Make sure you just buckled in.
Yeah, I was buckled. Oh, God, and one more. I'm sorry. This is really short. When we were flying out of Michigan, we were taking off, and on our way...
Could you stick the soundproofing back up? It's falling down.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, dude.
Oh, we'll have to get the glue gun back.
Yeah, we'll get the glue gun. All right, so we're flying out of Michigan on our way to Wisconsin, and Carl's looking at the radar before we go, and he's like, well, it looks like there's going to be some clouds, but it should be otherwise a really nice flight. So the flights from Michigan, from where we were at to Oshkosh, I think it was only an hour.
Michigan's pretty. Does it border Wisconsin?
Yeah, but we were on the opposite side of the state, so
okay.
It was an hour and a half, really short flight. I was asleep, and Carl was like, once we're in the air, he's like, yeah, you guys can loosen your seatbelts or whatever, and whenever we get there, or like if there's a problem, just like tighten them up. And so I did, and I'm asleep, and I look, and we're starting to get a little bumpy, and I'm like, oh, it's a little bumpy out here. And then all of a sudden, we had a huge one. I flew out of my seat and banged my head against the ceiling of the plane. It was just like, ah! I smacked my head off the ceiling, and I turned around. I'm like, why did no one tell me? And they didn't answer. I was like, guys, why didn't you tell me to buckle my seatbelt? And then I look, and when I was napping, my headset came unplugged, so I couldn't hear. They totally told me. But he's like, yeah, we just thought you weren't talking. I'm like, all right.
Dude, that happened to me. I was flying with my dad in like September 2019. And we're just like cruising, we're at like 12,000 feet. And in front of us is this wall of the puffiest clouds I've ever seen. I'm like, those are so pretty. Clouds. And my dad looks at me. He's like, just brace yourself. I'm like, why? So I had my buckle on the whole time. And he's like, just get ready. And I'm like, okay. So I get like pictures and videos. Luke, are you okay?
I breathed in water.
Jonathan's do live CPR.
He's a healthcare worker. I think he recommends not to do that.
Don't breathe water.
You heard it first.
Yeah, it's in my lungs.
I'm a neurosurgeon.
Yeah, it's in my
This
lungs.
is Dr. J.
But I get like pictures and videos of these clouds, and then we enter. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty shaky. I'm like,
Rephrase that. Then we penetrated.
Okay.
And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it.
Then we yeah.
Say it.
Okay, we penetrated the bosom of the clouds.
Okay.
So we go in. It's pretty rough. Like it's more turbulent than I've felt on like an airliner.
Yep.
It's like, wow, yeah, this is pretty bad. I'm glad my dad braced me for this. And so I'm just watching the instruments because you can't look out the window because there's nothing to see.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at him like, and it's just going like all over the place. And then literally like as quick as I can like snap my finger, we drop altitude by 100 feet. And my dad flies out of his chair and hits the top of the plane. I'm like, is he unconscious?
Alex, did you drop by 100 or 1,000? Because one full spiral around the altimeter is 1,000.
Dude, I think it was 1,000.
Because if it was here and it went,
that would have been a hell of a
that
drop.
would have been crazy.
Yeah, that
so
would
it
have
must have been like
fucked. It was probably like 100.
It was enough to make me see the altimeter and notice it, and then I saw my dad smack the ceiling of the plane. So he's like, it happens all the time. I'm like, you should probably wear a fucking helmet. It was crazy though. I did not expect
your
it.
dad. His flying stories are always hilarious. I'm sure we've told the Mike Nappy story on podcast.
Yeah,
Have we?
Yeah.
I have another story.
I got a funny flying story.
I can just see Mike like in the plane and then just smacks his head on the seat. He's like, once again.
I got one more quick one.
Yeah,
so I was up at the
quickie.
Yeah, I got a quickie.
I got one after you real quick.
Okay.
It's funny.
So I was up at the space like 2 weeks ago, and my dad was out in Colorado making a flight, and then he was supposed to return that night, and I happened to be up here. So I get on my radar app. I'm like, I wonder what planes are landing tonight. And I see a Castle plane, and it's Puppy Spot. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to watch Puppy Spot land. And I see it coming in and stuff, and I'm like watching my radar. I'm like, where's the plane? And then like out of nowhere, I just see it out the big window up top land. So I go home like, oh, Dad, I saw your flight. He's like, oh, you want to know how I made that approach? I'm like, is it interesting? He's like, oh, you'll get a kick out of this. So he's coming flying south from north. And he tells the tower, he's like, this is Castle, blah, blah, blah. We're approaching land. And they're like, all right, Castle, you're clear. So he's flying literally parallel with the runway, like not far. And he's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to dip. He literally cranks the yoke as far as it'll go. The plane is almost upside down. And like right before he straightens out, he's over the runway and just touches down. Like there's no approach. He just literally whipped it 180 and landed. I'm like, is that like allowed? He's like, yeah, as soon as they give you your approach, like you're good, you can land however you want. Like, why?
Actually, a quick note on that.
That's a big plane. Why would you do that?
No,
I wasn't with him. I just saw the plane land.
I was at this isn't my story, but I was at work one day and went out for break, and Jesus. Whoa. The T-34 was coming in for a landing, and the engine of a T-34 compared to the engines of like any other planes out there now, since it was a World War II fighter, is very recognizable.
Yeah.
Loud. It sounds really awesome. So my dad's boss is going up. I couldn't see the plane. Like, he was pretty high up. And he cuts the engine and it makes a loud pop. It goes, doosh. And everyone at work is like, oh shit, did you hear that? That's crazy. This plane did this boom thing. And they probably thought like shit went south.
Train axles
So-
and planes.
Anybody have any dip?
So I get home and I'm like, I asked my dad about what planes were approaching around that time. He's like, oh yeah, that was the T-34. He's like, tells me how he lands. Goes up, kills the engine, dives down, and then approaches the runway like right over top of it in the T-34. I'm like, that's fucking gnarly. But
That's
it made a huge
crazy.
boom when the engine cut.
I like that it's like, oh yeah, as soon as you're given an approach, you can just land however you
He's
want.
like, you
Like,
just do
half
it.
of them, they just like, all right, there it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna land this bitch backwards.
Watch
Yo.
me drift in.
I just made the propellers go the other way, so now I'm flying in reverse, gonna back this baby in.
But my story is, it was, I think, August of 2019. My dad called me after I got off work. He's like, hey, you want to do me a favor? And I'm like, sure. He said one of his pilots has like a back issue, and he had to go to Cincinnati. He's like, you want to go with him and like help him move some boxes around? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I get there, and me and the pilot are taxiing on the runway. We need to go refuel. And this was early 2019 because it was icy out. And the Caribbean sits kind of high off the ground. Like there's a ladder and the door that folds down. You have to climb up it. And me being like, hey, I'm cool. I'm in an airplane. I jump out of the cockpit, right? And right underneath me is a big slick of ice. The av flight guys are coming out to refuel the plane. The pilot's over there, so they can all see this. My feet hit the ice, and I fall flat on my ass in front of all these guys. And they just looked at me and fucking started laughing at me. And I was like, oh my God, that hurt so bad. But it was a good flight.
You
So
fucking
now
goober.
two people on the flight have back problems.
Anthony broke his tailbone.
Hey, yeah, I broke my ass.
I gotta go.
I broke my ass and shit my pants.
Anthony falls flat on his ass and just fills his trash.
I would just run across the tarmac back in a beeline to the hangar and be like,
I would haul my ass across the tarmac and promptly get arrested for
Yeah.
being out of the tarmac.
not only did I
just
break
put
my
head
ass, I
in a
shit my
plane
pants and then I
propeller.
got arrested. Oh, me, oh, my.
Guys,
what a
I'm an
day.
international terrorist now.
My pants are full of shit.
Isn't that epic?
And my ass is broken.
Isn't that epic?
That's pretty not a
Good times,
gamer.
good times flying.
Anthony, that is fun. Why would you jump out? Just use the
I
ladder.
didn't. It's not like high enough to where like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna hop
It's
out
pretty
real quick.
high, dude. I don't know
It's
why.
not
you would
crazy.
jump. It's
Like if it wasn't icy, there'd be no problem. But
You know
I
what
did not
is
see
crazy?
The ice right under me.
You know what is crazy? Is that there's people watching this podcast right now who haven't liked, commented, and subscribed. That's what's crazy.
You know what is crazy? That my mouth isn't full of the delicious tastes of a hungry man.
That's it. So that's the bit.
$40,000.
Hungry man, $40,000, Chevy truck, new phone,
Chairs.
Wi-Fi router, chairs, a hot glue gun. We need more gaff tape because, as you can see, I've finished another roll of gaff and added it to my gaff ball. This thing weighs roughly about 2 babies. So if you could send me all that, that'd be awesome. My name is Jonathan Semmer of the Hello Harem Podcast. Please follow us on Twitter, MySpace,
Instagram,
Twitch, Instagram,
Twitter,
Black People Meet,
Twitter.
MySpace, Grindr,
Farmers Only,
Twitter,
Farmers Only,
Christian Mingle.
and Christian Mingle,
and Twitter.
and Twitter.
what about LinkedIn?
We've made a harem.
I don't
LinkedIn.
think I could make a harem LinkedIn.
Thank you for your consideration.
I'm on LinkedIn. I can't make one for this on
Are
there.
you on LinkedIn?
Yeah,
Can
It's
I link
like-
you?
you can if you want.
Can we link in?
It won't help you with anything, but you can.
All right.
You should go around like friending like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all the
They
big
I doubt
guys.
they're
They
on LinkedIn.
wouldn't.
Trust me, it'll work.
I doubt they're on LinkedIn.
Oh, I know they are.
Holy shit, guys! We got a message from Bezos. Hey, I see you got a podcast.
Holy shit, dude! I got a message from Bezos. Hey, it's me, Jeff Bezos. Send me $50,000 and I'll give you back $1 million. I just need a couple dollars to get out of Las Vegas.
Hey, it's me,
You
Jeff.
have to wait for the check to clear first.
Hey, it's me, Jeff Bezos. I'm going to send you $1 million.
And to space.
No, Elon
Give
Musk
me-
will be the first podcast in space. Thanks, Elon.
My
That's a
ass,
goal.
That
dude.
is a goal.
Anybody got 28 mil?
Yeah,
Per
I mean, just
person.
reach into my back
It's,
pocket.
well, actually, Virgin Galactic, the public can now buy tickets. It's $450,000 a ticket. So,
Virgin.
you know, for like $2 million, we could all go to space.
Virgin.
We could be the first podcast in space.
My ass, dude. We're gonna pull that money out of.
I'm just saying.
We're not
First
worth
off-
we're not worth a quarter of that between all four of us.
Give me
I know.
20 minutes at the casino and we're good to go.
What?
Anthony's betting it all on 24.
No, I'm playing slots.
Anthony pops a penny in the slots and gets back $2 million. The biggest return in
And
casino
then
history.
promptly the house beats the shit out of me.
I'm
Boys,
putting it
we're
all
going
on
to
red.
Space.
What?
I'm putting it all on red.
We're playing roulette.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put
Isn't it
all
better
on
to put it on
24.
black?
It's better to put on neither because they're 1-for-1 returns. So you basically break even if
No,
you bet
here's
on
what
a
you gotta
color.
do: 24 odd black.
What's odd?
An odd number.
All odd numbers.
Well, 24 is an even number.
What?
If it... No,
What?
no.
What
No,
is-
I-
You
What's
put it on
24?
24, you put it on odd, and you put it on black.
You get a return either way.
Oh, so you bet all three of those?
Yes.
Okay, so they're not one thing; it's three.
Unless you want to do
individual things.
24 even red, and then if you hit that, you just walk out of the casino with a fuck ton of money
why? Okay, why can't you?
because you're betting it all on red, 24, and even. So if it's an odd number, you lose all of your money and get nothing back.
That's why you want to bet. If you bet like 24 odd black,
As long as it's black and odd number or 24, you get
you get a
money back.
return.
Why is it only 24?
That's my favorite number.
It's he's just saying as an example.
Okay, so
you can also
are-
bet on corners.
Are reds even and blacks odds?
I think so.
I think so.
That's
Wait.
how they have it set up.
So you always win.
No.
Yeah, no.
Luke, what do you mean bet
Yes.
on corners? Because the thing's
So-
round.
Okay, I'm gonna give you
Welcome
the
to the
benefit.
Hello
I-
Gambling Podcast.
I will
have
give
no
you the
idea how to
benefit.
gamble.
That was a very funny question because you're asking about a completely different portion of the roulette table. So the round thing is what they use to determine the number.
That's what we call in the business the wheel.
That's
Okay,
the
is
wheel.
that the color as well?
The
Alex, have you seen a roulette wheel?
Yeah, it's red
Yeah.
and black.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
so
numbers
there's
on it.
numbers that are red and there's numbers that are black.
Okay.
If it lands on a black number and you bet black, it's black.
So where do the corners come in?
So corners, when you're on the table, you have rows of numbers.
Okay.
And that's like where 24 comes in and things like that. It's 1 through 60, I believe.
Something like
No. 1 through,
I feel like-
maybe 1 through
I
90.
don't know. I
No,
don't
No,
know
1 through
pretty
60
really.
because you can bet on 20s too.
Yep.
You can bet first, third, 20 or something like that. So,
Yeah,
like,
it's 60. You're right. You're right.
yeah, so you'd have, if you bet a corner, let's say that it'd be, because it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
You could bet the corner of 1, 2, 4, 5. And if it lands on any of those numbers, you get a return.
I'm just gonna skip roulette.
No, it's cool
No, I
because
wanna play it. It looks
it's like a super awful odds game though because if you want to bet on one number, your chances are 1 in 60 to get a return.
So don't bet on one number.
Exactly.
Can you bet on more than, like, if you do, say, you know how you do 24 black?
You would bet
odd?
like that. So you'd have
There you go.
1, 2, 4, 5. And you'd put it in the middle, and that's betting a corner. You can also bet halves where you can put it in between two numbers, and you'd bet between like 1 and 4.
Oh,
So any number that falls between 1 and 4 would be.
If it lands on
Just those
1
two
or
numbers.
4.
All right.
Yeah.
so
You don't
wouldn't it-
bet between numbers unless you do like the first 20,
I'm betting
mid
between
20.
1 and 60.
You can't. I mean,
You
I
can,
think,
but-
I think casinos have rules on how many bets you can place.
Yes,
that's-
but
I was actually
that's a
gonna ask
possible
that.
bet though, because you could do first 20, mid 20, last 20 is 3 different bets, but you're gonna lose money on that. You lose money on that all day.
Actually, no matter if you get the return, you
Yeah,
still lost
you
money.
lost
on the
money.
other two.
You win every time, but you lose money on your win. It's like the single worst.
So you
return.
win a little bit and lose a lot more.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I
If
think
you bet $60 between those 3 bets and you put it all on, and then it lands on the last 20, you lose $40 and get $20 back.
Let's go.
I think I don't think it's 1-to-1. I think it's 2-to-1, so you get $40 back. So you still lose $20. Either way, you
not
lose
winning.
money from doing
You
that.
can play 3 rounds and you're golden.
Yeah,
Well,
You
you're not
play,
golden.
like-
You're just done.
You play
you're just done.
Oh yeah, never mind.
I think,
Basically,
I think my game of choice would be 21.
Blackjack?
Blackjack.
I do like blackjack. I want to go and sit down at a hold'em table.
I wanted to do that for my 21st birthday.
I want to sit
I
down at a
would like.
2-card hold'em.
I would like to learn poker.
I would
think
like to
it'd
go
be
to
an
the-
interesting game to play.
I can play poker, but I would never play poker at a casino because that's just too intense.
I think it'd be fun.
I think
I'm in
so.
for it.
I'd like blackjack because I know how to play blackjack. Like, really, it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just,
there's
yeah,
nothing
there's-
hard
Hey,
about
hey,
it.
kids, all of you underage kids out there, your dirty Uncle Jay is going to give you some good advice. Always double down on 11. Always.
There's never a reason not to.
Always double down on 11. Thank you.
Anyway,
is doubling down on 11. They just give you another card.
Yeah,
Right.
and then so if you get an 11 and you double down, they deal you another card. Your odds at 11 are the best they'll be to get a 21 or pretty close to a 21. So you double down, which means you double how much you bet. So if you hit that, you
I
get
see.
double the amount you
Okay,
bet. But if
yeah.
you miss that, you pay back double the amount.
Ooh,
So it's a big risk, but always
But
double
bigger
down on 11.
reward.
Oh yeah.
it's big risk, big reward, but the risk is higher in your favor than it is out of your favor.
oh, I didn't know that.
Well, because like if you have 11, anywhere from a 7 and up is a very good hand. So you have a 5 and 12 chance of, or 5 and 14 chance or something like that of getting like a really good hand.
The odds are good.
Just gambling in casinos are just an anomaly to me because I've never been exposed or around anything even remotely close
I just like
to it.
card games.
Mm-hmm.
Card games are fun.
The only card games I know are War and Go Fish. I'm not fucking kidding.
I forget how to
And
play Go
Spoons. I
Fish.
played Spoons.
Oh god, it was
Have you guys ever played 21 Rummy?
no.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
That's fun. I used to be good at that game.
I forget which National Lampoons it was, but in one of the movies, they went to a casino,
Mm-hmm.
and it was this totally fucking fantasy ass casino, and the games were just crazy. Like there was a Go Fish table, there was a table. It was called Guess a Number, and so the guy was just sitting at the table, and he walks up, and he's like, "What are you betting?" And he's like, $20, and he puts it down. He says, "Pick a number," and the guy says 14, and the guy goes, "You lose," and he takes the money.
You lose.
Yeah, there was like a lot of games.
God,
like
which
that.
one was that?
I don't remember.
That's not National Vacation.
Is it?
I don't think so.
I don't remember which
Now I
National
gotta, now I
Lampoons
gotta
it was.
Google it.
It was
'cause
yeah. That was.
I
a
know
fucking-
which one it
that
is.
was a hilarious scene. Pick a number. 14. You lose.
I'd like to go to a casino. I think it would be a fun time.
I do too.
I would love to go to a casino.
I'd have to go with you and Luke because one, Luke has
Vegas
experience.
Vacation.
Two, you know how to play
Vegas
games.
flights are like fucking $30 round trip. They're cheap as fuck.
What?
They're not that cheap. That's just a number. It's just.
I've always wanted to go to
I know
Vegas,
they're very
but
cheap.
more because of the atmosphere of Vegas, not because I want to go to a casino.
I will go to Vegas to say I've been to Vegas. I
Yeah.
hear it's
Yeah.
kind of shitty. I mean,
My parents went; they had a blast.
I feel like we could have a good time. I don't.
So
doubt
here's the
that.
thing with casinos that's epic about them. As long as you're gambling, you drink for free.
That is true. At the Jack too.
dude.
At the Jack, even, as long as you're gambling, you drink for free.
If you're sitting at a table playing a game, a waitress will come up and bring you a drink.
I'm going
Didn't
to
you tip
rob
well?
them.
Yeah,
of
you
all
Tip
said
their
high.
something
food.
about tipping, Luke.
You tip high, you never have a drink out of your hand the whole night.
They got good drinks.
It's a casino. You're getting
Yeah.
alcohol either way.
You'll get.
Okay.
I'm sure they've got pretty fucking solid
You
shit at a
can,
casino.
you can get whatever the hell you want. My parents were doing shots of Jaeger one time. They went to the casino. Every time my dad would win, he's like, "Let's go do a shot." And they were like 8 or 9 shots deep, and then they went to bed. My dad threw up.
my dad
Your
threw up.
your dad's at the roulette table, and like he's like 9 shots deep on Jaeger, and they're like, "Sir, place your bet." I'm doubling down. He's like, "Sir, you haven't placed a chip yet."
I feel like that's what they want you to do. They're like, drink free at the casino.
exactly
That's
what they
that's
want you
exactly
bet
what the
more,
that's what the
yeah.
ploy is. But if you're smart, you bet min all the time, but you drink for free the whole night.
I would just see. I would ask like, you guys got Mountain Dew? I'm gonna rob you of your Mountain Dew
Got
stockpile
Fanta? Grape?
tonight.
They also don't have windows so that people don't know what time it is, so you don't know how long you've been gambling, so you're in there longer.
That
do it.
is
They do
There's
it
no
all.
windows and no clocks.
I check the time a lot when I was in a casino. I would check the time a lot because I was like, I don't want to be here all day.
I would too.
I was only in one, and it was on a cruise. It was on the boat, and I was just sitting there. I sat there for like 3 hours and played the penny slots, and I won like $40.
I was up at the MGM actually.
In Cleveland?
Yeah, around there.
That's the
The
Jack.
one-
The Jack is in Cleveland?
Not the Jack.
The Jack is
the,
in Benton, Cleveland. I remember you told me about the MGM. It's like
MGM. It's
just
in-
outside of Cleveland. right?
Yeah, it's up off. It's up like really up north
Is
on
it
Route 8.
Independence? Or
Not-
a Mentor?
I think it's Mentor.
I consider
think.
Independence Cleveland. It's like right there.
Might as well be.
What is it, like 10 minutes south?
Yeah, by
Yeah.
fucking bike.
No, by
Yeah.
bike, it's like fucking.
Yeah, it's like
an
half
hour.
an hour. Yeah.
It's an hour and a lot of ass
Yeah,
pain
we can tell
later.
you that one for
Oh,
free.
Northfield. MGM Casino's in
Northfield.
Northfield Park.
Poggers.
I want to play slots too, even though I heard they can get kind of boring pretty quick.
I don't like slots.
Unless you play
personally.
the Dolly Parton slots.
I'll play the Dolly Parton slots.
They're just slot
They're-
machines with Dolly Parton on them. Alex,
know.
tell us about your piss.
You know,
Well, I don't have a piss story. I just do have a story, which I think, Jonathan, you'll actually really enjoy.
to me, Crazy Frog is just a normal frog. All right.
Put a
Anyway,
surprise up. But, what was that?
don't know.
It's my ferocious beast noise.
Was
So
that
I-
your asshole queef?
No, that was my ferocious
Oh, shit.
beast noise.
So I worked out of town this week, and we were on our way home Thursday, and I was driving, and I'm just cruising down like the back roads of Pennsylvania, and I'm just vibing. It's evening. I'm just enjoying the weather. It's like sunny out. Well, it's like sunset. I'm just vibing.
75, boys.
Oh God, not country music. But
Motley Crue.
so I'm going down, and we get to this bridge, and out of the corner of my eye on my left, I see this goose. I'm like, oh hey buddy, he's flying around, and so I crossed
Did
the
you hit
bridge.
him?
Oh, I'll get there. But I'm going like 55 or 60, so I can't slow down. Even if there was a person, I'd hit him. You know, I'm not going over the bridge. I'm not killing two people over one. That's stupid. So goose lands in the middle of the road. I'm like, move. He doesn't move. Instead, he lands in the middle. He starts walking into my lane. I'm like, dude, I can't stop. And like a second later, I smack the motherfucker. And I heard him roll under the car. I'm like, oh
my
God,
God.
I just killed a fucking goose. And I look in my rearview mirror, and dude, he was a goner. He was like one wing was flapping. He was like smacking the side of the like the median. I'm like, he's fucking dead.
Let's go, boys.
Alex is like trying to wait. He's like, he's not going to make it.
I was like, you're fucked, bud. Like, it all happened in like 3 seconds. I'm like, oh, there he is. Don't do it. Boom.
There he is. Don't do it.
I think because like the van is a little higher up, so I think what happened is his body went under the vehicle, but his head hit the front end, like the license plate, and just that caused his rolling. And he was dead. Like, that was the first animal I've ever hit. The goose wouldn't move.
Alex gets out of the fucking car and like 86, just walks up.
All right, give me your aluminum. Just put it. No,
I
I
gotta
take a
carve it.
feather and just put it on my hat.
You should have gone and got a feather off of him.
Yeah, I mean, if I was with my I wouldn't have done it because it's a goose.
Fuck geese, dude.
I know. I thought you'd be happy. As soon
I
as I
am
hit it, I'm
happy.
like, dude, Jonathan's gonna be really excited to
I'm
hear this
very
one.
happy about that. I hate geese.
Yeah, and then like for the rest of the drive home, I was like, man, what if? Because there were cows too. I'm like, what if a cow walked in front of this thing?
That van would come to a halt.
Mhm. And my coworker never wears a seatbelt. I'm like, he would die. The cow would die. I could very well die, all because of a cow. He's just stray
I
wandering.
don't think the cow is going to chew through the fence and just wander into the road. I don't think it's going to.
What's he doing? Oh shit! The cows are grazing through the fence again.
It was kind of like nerve wracking after that, driving past all the farm animals. Because what if if you hit a cow?
Alex,
It's
you know,
game over.
that's an irrational fear. Like, really.
Yeah, that's
not
very,
something you have to
very
worry
much-
about.
I'm just saying, it's game over if you hit a cow.
And
Unless
also,
you're
the cow's
playing-
not gonna be moving that fast. You're gonna have time to react.
Yeah, and they're
Al-
huge. You
also-
can see that from a while.
Yeah.
You said like electric fence, and that made me remember. I was talking with my mom earlier this week about my grandpa, and his catchphrase is "horse's ass" for some reason. Everybody's a horse's ass. I don't know why.
You're a
And I was
horse's
like,
ass.
well, it really evolved because when we were younger, it used to be, I'm going to put an electric fence around that. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, can you give me context? She's like, oh, yeah, we would like get in his chair or whatever. He's like, if you don't stop jumping in my chair, I'm going to put an electric fence around it. And I was like, how would he get in it then?
Grandpa, that would permit you from getting in your chair.
He would just move it. No.
I was like, that is such a weird thing to have as your like
Interesting. Your grandpa has
catchphrase.
a lot of.
He also used to say, "I'll break your damn legs." That was also
Is he Italian? And did he use?
No, he is Irish.
The Irish has a mafia, don't they? Or some sort of gang.
They were used in the Italian mafia.
Yeah.
I thought.
There's a whole movie about it.
Is there?
The Irishman.
That's about the mafia.
Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
I knew there was. Isn't there like an Irish gang though?
It was Robert De Niro and oh god, who's the other guy that's in every mob movie?
Is he the one that was in?
He was in Goodfellas.
Was he in The Godfather?
I don't know.
Frank Sinatra.
No, not
He was in the actual mafia.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah,
He was a puppet for the mafia.
he was big mafia, dude.
Oh
Huh.
god, who's the guy? Oh shit, that's gonna bother me. Yeah, look at the cast of The Irishman. As soon as you say it, I'm gonna be
Al
pissed.
Pacino.
No,
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Joe
I love
Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
I love Joe Pesci.
I love Joe Pesci.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
man.
He's in
Joe
My Cousin
Pesci.
Vinny.
It was Robert.
He's in Home Alone.
It was
Yeah.
it
Joe
was Robert
Pesci?
De Niro and Joe Pesci.
Whoa.
Joe Pesci's the robber that's
He's
bald.
the robber. He's the
He's
short.
the bald one.
Yeah.
That's Joe Pesci.
Yes.
He's the wet bandit.
Trying to catch you guys for months.
I love how dumb they are, but the police just
Can't catch
couldn't
him.
catch
Yep.
on.
No.
Well, dude, it was. What was the kid's name? Was it
Vinny.
Macaulay Culkin.
No,
I was gonna say
Macaulay Culkin.
Hogarth, but
I was
that's
gonna
the
say
Iron-
Hogarth
That's the
too.
Iron Giant.
I was like, yeah, that's the Iron. I love
Kevin.
the Iron.
Was it Kevin?
Kevin.
Kevin.
French called les incompetents.
I love that movie. That was
Home Alone?
Yeah, I fucking.
That's
love
a good
Home
movie.
Alone.
I do love that
I
movie.
like the first one.
Did
I
you like
don't
Home
care for
Alone
it.
Lost in New York?
Yeah, Donnie J's in it.
He is. Down the hall to the left.
I don't really care for the second or third. I like the first.
I don't either. The first one's the best.
The first one is the best.
First one is the best.
Yeah,
He had the best traps in the first one.
yeah. I mean, what beats the fucking nails on the stairs?
The
That-
electric doorknob.
The iron to the face.
The paint can followed by another paint can.
The nail stepping.
The tacks and the ticks on the floor.
Mhm.
The
The
glass
electric
balls.
doorknob is probably one of the best ones.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a heated doorknob.
He hooked up wires to a doorknob and then.
I thought it was like the heater thing.
Yeah,
and
I
it made
think
the
you put the
door
heater
because
on
didn't he get like branded
Well,
on his
'cause
hand?
There was
Electricity.
electricity makes it hot.
No, he had like a metal thing that heated up around it. You could see
It
that
was probably
glowing
plugged
orange.
into a wall. They're probably right.
Well, yeah, it was electric, but it heated up.
Yeah, and he got branded with M
Wrong.
for McAllister.
Wrong.
Have you guys seen the movie Mousetrap?
No, I played
I've
the game.
heard of it, but I don't.
I played
the game.
that
That is
overly
a
complicated ass
The,
children's board game.
No, the movie.
What's that actor's name?
I don't know.
He's in Joe Dirt. He says if you're talking to my guy all wrong,
Oh,
if you do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
What is his name? He said the baby.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
Christopher
Debate.
Walken.
Yes,
He's the one.
Christopher Walken
He's
is the
the
exterminator in Mousetrap. Oh, it's such a
I
good
love
movie.
Christopher
Such a
Walken.
good
The
movie.
baby.
ladies and gentlemen, tonight's special guest, the baby.
I haven't seen Mouse. I want to rewatch Mousetrap.
Oh, it's
so
been-
bad.
Did you
It's
guys
been
ever
so long.
play the Mousetrap board game and then actually have it work?
No.
No.
I,
Yeah,
dude,
me
I,
neither.
I never had
I
it.
literally couldn't set it up.
It's like the most overly complicated because it's like you landed on a space, put another trap on the mousetrap, and it's
Roll
like,
the marble down the blue thing,
and then like it would always
the
just
thing will fall. The-
stuck. I never had it work one time.
I never.
I didn't
It's just
have it.
too complicated to set up.
It was a
My
children's
cousin had
game.
it, and every time we
Your
play board
cousin
games.
Vinny.
No, my cousin. Not Vinny.
Vinny.
Have you seen that movie, My Cousin Vinny?
No.
It is
I think I've seen
very.
bits and pieces.
It is very funny.
I've seen bits and pieces.
You know who else is a phenomenal actor that the world needed more of?
Who?
John Candy.
John Candy?
Uncle Buck.
From what?
He was Uncle Buck.
In what?
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
That's the
I don't
movie's
know.
name?
Yes.
I don't know who John Candy is.
No shit. Really?
No.
Oh, dude, he's so fucking funny. He was in National Lampoon's Summer Vacation. He's John Candy. He's
Oh
fucking-
fuck! He also.
Oh yeah, he was a
he was
barf
in-
in Spaceballs.
He was dumb. He's in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, he's that one dude's companion?
No.
Is he dumb or dumber?
Neither.
I think.
Neither.
Okay.
Yeah. What does he do in Dumb and Dumber? I know he's in it. I recognize his face.
He
Is
drank
his real
himself to
name?
death.
Oh, rip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
John
it's
Candy.
John Candy.
Rick Moranis too. He was also a great actor.
Rick Moranis. Yeah, he's like the '80s like best actor, man.
Dude, you know,
Why is
like
it
he was
showing me Google
he was like
images?
the geek nerd like everyone loved.
I swear he's in that movie.
do you guys want like a wholesome Rick Moranis fact?
What did Rick?
He was
He was the main guy. He was
Honey, I
Dark
Shrunk the
Helmet.
Kids.
He was Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet
Oh
in
yeah,
Spaceballs.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the reason that Rick Moranis quit acting is because his wife died of cancer, and he decided that he didn't want his children to be alone during that time, so he quit acting so that he could be a stay-at-home dad and take care of his kids.
What a G.
What a wholesome guy.
What a G.
Yeah.
He seems like a wholesome guy.
Yeah.
Shouts to Rick Moranis.
Shouts Rick
if you ever
Moranis.
see this podcast, man, why don't you
He
come on the
won't.
show, man? We'd love to have
He
you.
won't.
He might.
He never will.
He's not an actor anymore.
Yeah, you're right, actually. He
Yeah.
was on a ad for Mint Mobile.
Mint.
Mint Mobile. Ryan Reynolds' cell phone company.
Yeah, he just bought it.
Yeah.
He brought on the first.
I like
ever
Ryan
Mint customer.
Reynolds.
I do too. He's a
I
good
do as
actor.
well.
He's a good actor, and I feel like he's not that bad of a guy.
No, he's funny as fuck too.
He's funny, and he's just like a normal person.
He's Deadpool.
Yeah.
I like his Twitter where he always like makes fun of his wife.
Yeah, my wife's being a real bitch today.
No,
it's not that. It's
so
like
wholesome.
It's
though.
like really
I figured it'd
wholesome
be
jokes, but
wholesome,
it's
yeah.
like it's always like a picture of his wife and like his daughter or something. He's like the most beautiful woman in the world, and I guess my wife. It's like things like that.
Yeah, he's funny as fuck. He there was a video where somebody walked up and like talked to him about his car, and he was like, "You want to ride?" Like,
Really?
they got in the car, and he took him for a ride.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds he is an example
a
of
nice
just
guy.
a normal guy who just became famous. Like,
That's exactly like Keanu Reeves.
yeah,
I love Keanu Reeves.
Everything about Keanu Reeves is
My
just
man.
wholesome.
Yeah,
He's
I
just,
love
he
him.
just seems so down to earth.
He is. He's
Keanu
great.
Reeves, like I feel bad for him sometimes because isn't he the one that he's like, yeah, I just kind of sit at home alone most days and
Because he
things
had
like that.
he had a wife and she died, and so he's like he hasn't gone on a date since, or anything like that. He donates like a lot of his money to like I think it was cancer or something. And he donates like all of his money to like those foundations. He's just like a super wholesome dude.
Wholesome Keanu
What?
Reeves
What
Chungus
movie am I
100
thinking
moment.
of? Like, it's like
Cyberpunk.
no. It's a super badass movie. Alex.
John
would-
Wick.
Yes, John Wick.
How could
Love
you
it.
forget John Wick?
I don't
I
know.
love those movies.
my
The
mind is
Matrix.
blanking. But
It's a good movie.
He is in the Matrix.
so you said his wife actually died.
Huh?
It must have been like a tough role for him to play in John Wick then, because in the movie his wife dies.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
Yeah, like
And then
then
his
his
dog
dog.
dies
Mhm.
Then he kills everyone with a fucking pencil.
in a crayon.
With the fucking pencil.
Who does that? I love those movies. I'm so excited for the new one,
I still have to watch the third.
You haven't seen it?
No,
dude.
I don't get out much.
You're right. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but no.
How did
haven't
I
seen
see it and you didn't?
I don't know. You probably went without me with
I don't know. You're
friends.
probably cringe.
Probably went with Matt and Josh. I don't
Cool.
know. Yeah, I want to watch it.
Hey Tippy, what do you got there?
I have this board here.
Oh
Mine.
yeah, we do this, don't
yeah,
We have
with
a
my anime of the
podcast.
week. I've actually been really excited to do this one for a long time. I just don't know why I haven't got to it yet.
Probably because you're dumb.
It could be Luke. You're probably right. You're probably right.
I meant to say that more quietly, but then the room got quiet.
But I know only one person has seen this one so far, and it's Anthony. But I know the other two simps in this one.
Let me
should
guess.
watch.
Let me guess. Starts with an A and ends in Amagi SS.
No, it is not.
That's just the title. Starts with an A and ends with Amagi SS. Amagi
Isn't it
SS.
Amagami?
You're right. It is Amagami.
Amagami.
Jay, that's the show. Me and you saw that clip of that we got the sauce for.
It begins with and ends with Magami.
I'll show you the scene after the
Okay,
cast.
please do.
I know which one you're talking about.
Holy
Because that made
shit.
me want to watch it.
All
But
right,
here I am.
Yeah.
My
curious.
anime of the week is Hitori Bochi no Maru Maru Seikatsu. Which is I just call it Hitori Bochi or just Bochi. Basically, our main protagonist in the game, Hitori Bochi, which literally means like a loner person is her name. She's a loner person, and in elementary school she had one friend, And she's going to middle school, but her friend isn't going to the same school as her. So her only friend tells her, I'm not going to be your friend anymore until you make friends with every single person in your new classroom. Bochi suffers from extreme social anxiety. So she goes to school, and she has a really hard time making friends. And she meets this one friend, Nako. This like the blonde delinquent who everyone thinks is badass, and she's friends with Bochi, who's like the complete polar opposite. And it's just kind of like her life trying to make friends in her class. And it is a super, super wholesome show. Bochi is one of the funnest characters I think I've ever watched. And we have Aru, who is also in Bochi's class.
Who is very unfortunate.
Who is unfortunate. Everything bad happens to her. And they start a gang.
I'm still thinking about it starts with and ends with Megami SS.
Let me see your sign real quick. I want to see how you decorated it with the Crayolas. Oh, the flower's a nice touch.
Yeah.
What's half off?
Half off a friend.
Oh, that's so sad.
I should have did like buy one, get one free.
I guess that would work too.
I'm the only one that does BOGO out of everyone. Everyone else does half
I
off.
think I
for
did.
some
I did
reason.
a BOGO last time.
I was going to do 25% off.
Half off fucking spaghetti.
But, Bochi's a super fun show. It is slice of life, but it strays away from like the cliche stuff, honestly. It's kind of in its own realm of
Like-
being a show.
Like no romance at all.
No, it's all comedy, and it's fucking hilarious. And they go wahaha, and they start a gang, and then she has this bear costume, and she gets sick and thinks
That's
she's
the
gonna
one
die.
with the girl that's always like beam moon. She like
Yeah,
shoots
yeah,
beams at people.
yeah. That's her friend. And that's also the clip. Have you guys seen the one where she's swimming in the pool, doggy paddling?
Mhm.
That's Bochi.
Well, I knew that one was Bochi. I know what
Yeah.
she looks like at least.
Yeah, she's a pog champ, and she makes friends. But I'm hoping for a second season because they did not finish making her friends.
I don't think we're gonna get a second season.
I don't either. But I fucking loved it, and I think it's kind of popular, honestly.
How many wahahas out of 10?
Oh man, wahahas.
Before
Dude,
breaking into tears.
How many friends out of 10?
Oh, Friends is a good one.
How many
Dude,
piss
I
pants out
give
of
this
10?
like 8 friends out of 10. I had super fun.
How many
very
piss
fun
out of
time watching this.
trousers?
I had a very fun time watching Bochi.
4 at the
and-
table.
I always see clips, and I always make sure to watch them whenever it's Bochi.
How many amagamis out of SS do you give it?
But wait, there's plus.
How many pluses?
How many pluses out of Amagami SS do you get?
So yeah, that's my anime of the week. So go watch Bochi. Let us know what you think in the comments. I know Adam Knight, you've probably seen it. So let me know what you think of Bochi.
You
And
simp.
if he
I
hasn't
can't wait
seen
for
it-
the one to be in. It's going to be like Adam Knight's like, I didn't like it.
I didn't like Bochi.
Or
It'd be kinda sad.
Adam Knight literally just saying, like, I don't like your podcast.
You guys fucking
Your
suck.
content sucked. Fuck you guys.
I actually had a cool
And the
new-
grammar's perfect. Only
would be
when he's
epic.
insulting us.
I had a
Love
cool
you,
bit of
dude.
facts
Love you, Adam
that
Knight.
I found just browsing on Reddit the other day. And no, it's not depressing news.
Hit us with it.
I don't know when it happened, but 2 VTubers from VShojo, Vebe and Fruit, did a live interview on BBC News.
No, they
Big Black
fucking
Cock
did
News.
not.
I knew you were going to make a BBC joke.
I actually thought about this.
Big Black Cock
No.
News?
You making that joke. I think it was Thursday.
What do you think of me?
Because I knew you would do it. What does BBC actually stand for? Is it British Broadcasting?
British Broadcasting Channel.
Channel,
That'll do
company.
it. That'll do it.
Company, either or.
They did an interview.
Black.
There were 2 VTubers on the live news, which I think is hysterical.
Sorry?
So Vebe and Fruit,
Vebe and Fruit. They did-
Vapey and fruit.
2 of like the lewdest, almost, 2 very lewd people from VShojo are on live television.
Correct.
That is fucking awesome.
I thought that was awesome.
What, like, did they just interview themselves? What'd they talk about? Did they go over the news?
I didn't read the article. I saw it. I'm like, that's epic. Here's a note.
Did
and
you?
I moved
Why didn't
on.
you watch it?
I can go back and find it.
I
I
wanna fucking
also
watch
didn't
that.
see a link to it. If I can find one, I will definitely watch it.
I'd love to watch that. Go support the homies following their dream of being anchors.
I can roll with it.
What else? What else you got?
That was it.
I just got a Google card for the top 5 uses of shears in Minecraft.
I know one use,
Number
Leaves.
and it's for fucking
Number
sheep.
5, acquire wool. Number 4, shear grass. Number 3,
Leaves.
utilize cobwebs. Number 2, mining leaves. Number 1, use ferns.
Wait, two of those I had a question for. How do you utilize cobwebs and ferns?
Cobwebs you can use as string.
Does it get string?
Yeah,
Well,
or you can just use them
when
to
you-
slow shit down.
Yeah, use it to slow shit down. It's really a lot of like redstone bullshit does it because you use it with a what's it called? The thing that when there's a block in front of it, it turns on.
Oh, not
Why
a
am I-
monostable circuit.
No, I can't think of what it's. Activator?
I can't remember. When there's a block in front of it, it activates?
Yeah,
Oh, that would be a observer.
yeah, an observer. You can put them in front of observers and have them do shit. It's weird.
The cop,
Warship positions faked, including UK aircraft carrier. Man, my Google cards are crazy today.
Mine are usually just like, grow your cock 43 inches in 2 minutes. Like,
Mine are still so
Why
boring.
aren't those your cards?
what?
What?
You don't get those?
No.
no.
Not on my Google cards. They give me news. Like an ancient Babylonian tablet is rewriting math history.
Mine's like, local men in your area want to suck your cock. Click this link to find out how many.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I actually saw I got a Google card for the time crystal.
Did you really?
I did.
Time crystal?
Google made
Oh,
a time
dude, you missed
crystal.
it. Literally, Google is like rewriting science history,
Not history,
Why?
fucking laws.
science laws.
They've made. I keep getting like I get so many articles for it.
We'll go over the time crystal real quick for Jay. Just
So-
real briefly.
What a time crystal is it was in 2011 it was a theorized state of matter where there is no bottom line of like atomic rest.
Cool.
So solids, they all rest really close together and everything. This just doesn't have that. It can basically it'd be like changing from like solid liquid gas without having any energy added to the system. So it basically like doesn't use energy and it's always like changing.
So what's space state?
Time crystal.
It-
That's the state.
it
The
literally
state.
doesn't have
It's
one.
a phase of
So wait,
matter.
it just doesn't have states of matter besides what it is?
So you know how we have like solid,
Solid,
liquid,
liquid,
gas,
gas, yeah.
plasma,
Yeah. It's all of it?
time crystal.
It's all of that?
It's not all of it. It's its own thing. They called it a time crystal. Is its own state of matter.
What was it you telling me that the scientists briefly turned water into gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
mention
they
that.
hyper compressed water and made it gold for a little bit.
That's Alchemy 100 right there.
That's fucked.
Why couldn't they keep it in that state?
They couldn't keep the pressure until the atoms stabilized. Because you need, I don't remember how many. It was like 5 quadrillion tons or something like that of
Jesus.
pressure. Not. I don't think it was that.
How much
but like,
water? Was it like a drop?
I don't know. I didn't like the article didn't go that deep. I like briefly read through. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, and
It
then
was a
stopped.
55-gallon aquarium, which then turned into a massive gold bar.
The fish died.
Pretty sure the fish were still there.
Nemo!
Actually, that irks me, and it really shouldn't.
What?
Every time I've been to like an aquarium, or
Yeah.
if I'm at a saltwater fish store, and there's some little kid who goes up to the blue tang and goes, "Dory!" I go, "No, that's a blue tang." I don't say that because that's really condescending and a dick move.
Just let them. They're like
I
Nemo.
don't say anything. I don't say anything.
Why
I
do you-
understand that they're children and they don't know different species
And that
of
they're
fish.
stupid.
It's learning by association, you insensitive fuck.
Well, they should learn correctly and learn the name. That's all I'm saying.
I want to see the Nemo fish.
No, that's an Oscillarius clownfish. Doesn't irk you?
No, not at all. Not even actually a little bit. I don't even know what to do with that.
Here it was. It was 15 million atmospheres of pressure, and it was only able to last for a few seconds.
So they turned water into gold.
For a
It
few
was a
seconds.
gold-like metal.
Did it say how long it would take for the atoms to stabilize if they could maintain that pressure?
I can read a little bit more,
Yeah, go ahead.
but like
I'm
it's
also curious about that too.
it was a gold-like metal. It wasn't like gold itself, because obviously it wasn't.
Mhm.
It was water.
Because when you told me that, I'm like, what the fuck? Were they just like taking shit out and putting shit in?
Once again, science is just doing things because they can.
Yeah. What was the other crazy science shit you told me the other day, Luke?
There's so fucking much.
There were two
other
Which one?
about here.
Electromagnetics or property of space time?
Something like. Oh no, I don't know. Oh, did you see the thing where they saw light from a black hole for the first time ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They saw light being warped from the other side of a black hole.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the other day. Super recent.
Like insane.
Holy
Wait.
crap.
So I'm under the impression that light cannot escape a black hole, right?
Uh-huh.
No, it can't.
Okay. So does that mean they saw the tail end of a black hole?
No. They saw light doesn't just it's not like, oh, here's some light going in. It's gone.
Yeah, I know.
They saw
like
it being like it was from
dragged in.
the other side of it shining out and it was being warped in.
Okay.
They saw it being warped into the black hole.
That's pretty poggers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Insane.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Science just be out here doing shit.
The
This is
reason that
black
they
holes vibing.
even did this because they're theorizing that massive planets like Uranus and or Neptune could foster water in a metallic state because of how much pressure they have on the planets.
Oh.
So they're
yeah.
theorizing like their cores could just be like solid metal
Whoa.
that water was pressured into, like pressurized water into metal.
That would be
I'm gonna go
crazy.
stand on Uranus. It's Uranus.
It's actually not.
What do you mean?
I think it's literally pronounced Uranus.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said it's Uranus.
Well,
Probably didn't want to get made fun of.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, what does he
Neil
have?
deGrasse,
Degrees
not
or
Neil
something?
deGrasse.
Neil
Oh, this is
deGrasse.
for Jay. Jay came over. What day did you stop over? Thursday. Wednesday? Jay stopped over real quick for like an hour. And he was talking about, what is that genie guy? What's his name?
Akinator.
The Akinator, yeah, we were playing that. And one of the things he did was a coconut crab. And they're big as fuck.
Yeah, they're scary.
They're weird. And we started talking about Amelia Earhart theories and whatnot. Like 3 days later, I get a recommended video for like what really happened to Amelia
I
Earhart.
saw that in the watch history.
Yeah, it was from Thoughty too. It's a really good channel. But yeah, he went over the theory of coconut crabs.
Yeah.
Said most likely wasn't it.
Oh.
I think the most.
Wait. What is the theory of coconut
So coconut crabs
are
are like walking garbage cans.
Uh-huh.
They will eat just about anything. If they find a dead animal, they will just, like in a pack of coconut crabs, come and just devour it whole. Like they will just eat every part of it. And so one of the theories about why Amelia Earhart's body was never found is because a bunch of coconut crabs ate her body.
Even
That's
her
like
bones?
one of the
They'll
three
eat
leading
every
theories.
part of it. Like they will
Whoa.
not leave a bit.
They're kind of like bull sharks of the land.
They're insane. And they're huge.
I had a theory for a second, but then it didn't make sense.
The three leading theories are the coconut crab one, like they landed on an island, died of starvation, whatnot, and then coconut crabs ate them. But the biggest thing with that is where the fuck is the plane? So that one's kind of ruled out.
Iffy biffy.
The second one is that they landed on an island that was in Japanese occupied territory because this was 1937, I believe.
And they flew across the Pacific.
They were flying across the Pacific. And the theory is that they were captured by the Japanese and killed in a POW camper, whatever, executed. And then the last theory, obviously, is that they just crashed in the ocean, ran out of fuel. That's personally what I think happened,
Probably.
but I think it's fun to
I think
explore
it's-
the options.
I think it's the most likely because, I mean, you said it was 1937?
Yeah.
The capabilities to search that vast ocean weren't as great as they were today, so I
They're
think
not
that's the
great
most
now.
likely.
Not great now. We've seen less of the ocean than we have of space.
Well, that's literally underwater.
Well, they
what I'm
base-
talking about is the surface of the ocean.
Yeah.
They didn't have satellites to check the surface of the ocean.
They based where they were searching off of radio pings, where the flight was supposed to be and where the last ping was. And that's like where they based their search area. Obviously, nothing was found. But
See,
I
I've
think it's fun to explore.
I've been super interested in flight MH37.
They found parts to it.
Parts. Like,
Well, then we
small
obviously know
pieces.
what happened.
What's the one?
I mean,
I don't know,
I don't
dude.
think
There's still a lot of conflicting things going on with that flight because it doesn't make sense where they found the parts in comparison to like the last ping, the flight pattern. Everything is really, really weird with that flight.
Well, the currents of the ocean from where did it crash in the Indian Ocean?
It crashed off the coast I think it was in the Indian Ocean, but it
I
was like
think
200
that
miles off
current
the coast or
moves
something.
because they found parts on the coast of Eastern Africa. And I think that current moves towards Eastern Africa.
But I think I was also watching. It was by
Probably Eldritch Sea Gods.
It was by Lamino. He did a
Poseidon.
really good video about it.
Yeah.
Alta.
I
And
watched that.
Alright.
a lot of things just
Going
didn't
to
add
war with
up. Like,
Poseidon.
yeah, they found parts over there, but they went over the ocean currents for like that
He
entire
altered
week
them.
or two, and they didn't match up with why the parts were there. Like, they scanned massive amounts of the ocean with both underwater scanners and the surface, and they didn't find shit.
Well, is there another theory that explains how there's pieces of it and that it didn't crash into the ocean and something else happened to it?
People honestly say like some with aliens. People have been theorizing aliens or something.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
also an Amelia Earhart theory.
Yeah, I've heard that one with Amelia.
Are you guys familiar with the Voyager,
Like the
satellite?
spacecraft.
the airplane?
I am not.
I'm only bringing this up because I saw it at Oshkosh. The Voyager was the first aircraft to do a nonstop, unfueled flight around the world.
Let me see that plane.
That thing is crazy looking. It is huge. Holy crap.
Oh, yes, I've
That's
seen that
the
thing
Voyager.
before.
I saw it whenever I was in Oshkosh. They have it in their museum. Hold on.
We have to make the goofiest looking plane now, and it's going to go around the world.
Yeah, so they built it was a husband and wife. Not
Wife, I got an idea.
What is it, honey?
We're going to fly
So
around the world.
They
Why?
flew they flew around the world, complete circle around the earth
In 80 days.
9 days.
9.
They did it in 9 days, a complete flight, and it was only 2 people. They took turns sleeping and flying the plane. The cockpit of the cockpit and the interior of the Voyager was not much wider than like 3/4 of this table. So it was really, really skinny and really long. And they completed the flight in 9 days without refueling. So they took off, flew around the world, didn't stop, and then landed.
That's insane.
I'm curious. I have a question.
Yes.
So, about how fast did the plane go? Because
I assume it had to be able to glide. I assume it needed gliding capabilities.
I'm also wondering how it was powered.
It had a prop on the back.
Solar powered.
It travels
I was
top
thinking
speed.
that was
The top speed is 122 miles.
Okay,
per hour.
that kind of answers my question. Because I was like, if I can fly from here to Japan in 14 hours, that's just about halfway across the world.
122 miles an hour.
Yeah, that explains it because you're
Yeah.
flying so much slower
Yeah,
than a commercial airliner.
So a cool thing about their flight.
yeah, I
so-
was just wondering if it was doing like 400 or 500 miles an hour.
The Voyager, on top of being very skinny, because they needed to make this thing like light, and the cockpit had to be relatively small, and like just for aerodynamics to make sure that everything was just perfect. It was also really, really short in the cockpit,
Mhm.
and so they had to be anytime they needed to move, they had to be crouched down the whole time, and so they would crawl. So they were crawling back and forth to. They had like their cockpit, and then they had the sleeping area, and then they had food. And so when they got back to where they took off from and they landed, they had to be picked up and carried out of their plane because, similar to space, they hadn't walked, and their legs, they couldn't really walk.
Oh, yeah.
Because for 9 days they'd only been crawling.
hmm
And so I think they said, like, in the article, not in the article, in the museum, that it was like 2 hours before they were able to like walk on their own.
That's scary.
Yeah,
That would
That's
suck.
Yeah, that would suck.
yeah. It was a really cool looking plane.
What'd they do about shitting?
I'm sure there was
Probably had a
bathroom.
bathroom.
They had a
in there or
hatch.
something. You just go out the window.
Yeah.
All right, honey, I'm hoping the poop hatch again.
How big
We
was
shouldn't
the
have had
wingspan?
beans. What?
How big was the wingspan? It looked huge.
Like 12.
Miles,
It was,
at
dude,
least.
it's humongous. The
Nah, at least
wingspan
12.
was 111 feet,
Ooh, yeah, that's a unit.
That's
Yeah,
big.
12.
That's a chungus.
29 feet length, 122 miles per hour was the top speed, and it weighed 2,250 pounds.
That's light.
Yeah,
Thorpe could bench that.
they made that shit light,
Yeah.
and it was huge.
It looks like the
Yeah,
wingspan
it's
looks massive.
Huge airplane. Just like
Are you saying you can't?
Where do you store that thing, dude?
in a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. You have to probably
Luke, remember the? I can't remember what it's called. My dad told me about it. My one of my uncles had a part in building the engines for it. But it was when we went into the presidential area of the Dayton Air Museum, the thing way in the back that had 6 engines.
Oh yeah,
Jet
the
engine
weird,
in the
the
back. It was
weird ass
yes,
thing.
it was
We were like,
enormous.
"What is this?
Yes.
What?"
We're just looking at pictures.
And it
of
was
the
like the
plane.
really long thing. Like,
Yeah, it
we're like,
was
"This thing has too
fucking
many
huge.
engines."
It was, the whole back end of this thing was just engine.
Oh
engine,
yeah, I
engine.
remember seeing that thing. Yeah,
There was like 12
it was-
engines
it was
on it for
stupid.
some reason.
I
Did
can't
you
remember
guys
what it's called.
see
though.
the plane I sent into the group chat that was just covered in little props on top of it?
No.
No.
What?
I don't think so.
I sent it into the group chat.
Was it like a helicopter type?
No, it
beat?
was an airplane, but it was covered in like drone blades.
No, I don't remember seeing.
Wait,
I
that.
wish
I
I,
might
was
recall
covered
this.
in blades.
Oh yeah.
This
Yeah,
thing?
it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It
yeah,
had
that
little
weird
crazy
drones
looking.
all like little drone blades all over it.
I wish I was covered in drone blades.
Then I
Right.
could fly.
That would
Then
hurt.
I could
It would
fly.
hurt.
It would hurt.
Well, that's all I got.
I'll have them
thanks. All I got.
surgically
Jay's
implanted
aircraft.
into my robot arm.
Excuse
Thank you.
me. Yeah, well, that's all I got too.
I'm beat. Wizards.
We turned water into metal.
And airplanes flew around the world. Thank
You
you
mean
for
made a
following us on the
And
podcast.
Theoretical.
Amelia Earhart got eaten by a coconut crab.
And
Thank
that's
you guys.
Allegedly.
All right, guys, that's the end of today's episode. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment down below or email us at helloharmpodcast@gmail.com and we'll get back with you ASAP. So look forward to next week, guys.
We won't.
Thank you very much.